Good evening, good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. Taka amagara ni kamsumarimasu, kamurogi kamurogi no mikoto moshite, sumemi oya kamuizanagi no mikoto atsukushi no imuka no tachi hana no odono hawagi harani. Misogi harai tamo toki ni narimaseru. Harai dono o kagi tachi moro moro no. Magago to sunikegare o. Harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao suko no yoshi o. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami aoyorozu no kami tachi tomo ni. Ame no uchi koma no miri urita tete kikoshi meseto kashikomi namaozu. Miroku o mikami mahori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami mahori tamae saki hae tamae. Ushie miyoya nushi no kami mahori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mahori tamae saki hae tamae. Kom nagara tamachi haemase. Kom nagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine light, and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your grace. Please be seated. We now receive group Johrei.
May God and Meishu-sama bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Education. Through education is learning that good deeds bring prosperity and wrong acts bring failure, all according to divine law. How sad it is that present education teaches only surface knowledge, leaving the mind unaware of spiritual truth. The world is so steeped in surface knowledge, lacking the true perception of eternal life. I believe the present system of education makes a great mistake in overemphasizing material learning. Unless the spiritual and moral education is given hand in hand with the material, the true aim of education will never be achieved. Spiritual education means awakening people to the existence of spiritual things above anything else, to the existence of God. This is the essence of spiritual education. Through it, people can learn the spiritual meaning of life and thus bring about the balanced advancement of both the spiritual and the material sciences. Only with this will the eternal peace of the world be born and humanity becomes able to enjoy a paradise-like life.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. Today, we elevated our prayers for all the victims of the Ida hurricane, as well as the tropical storm hurricane. So many lives were lost, and so many people were affected. Let's keep them in our prayers. Today, I'd like to share one faith experience from Mozambique, Africa. This is from Chelsea Sharon Rebelo. She belongs to the Central Johrei Center, Mozambique. Chelsea Sharon is a Johrei member and she gives service at the Johrei Center Central, being the MC and collecting faith experiences from the members and regular visitors. The faith experience that she is sharing with us is related to the fulfillment of our basic practice of faith. At the end of 2020, she moved to Maputo to study and moved in with her sister. During the night, she couldn't sleep, spent the nights awake, and could only sleep in the morning. When she was able to sleep a little, she then would suddenly wake up scared and couldn't go back to sleep afterwards. She began to pray intensively from midnight until 6 in the morning and intensify the basic practice of faith. She began keeping flowers of light at home, reading Meishu-sama's teachings for 30 minutes a day, Johrei channeling, and giving herself in service. Besides Johrei, she reported to a missionary about the purification she was going through and asked him to visit her home to dedicate a picture of Meishu-sama she had the permission to acquire. They also scheduled a thorough cleanup of her house. After the thorough cleanup, she began to sleep better, thanks to God and Messiah Meishu-sama. For the blessings she received, she made a special donation of gratitude. Chelsea learned about the importance of our basic practice of faith that makes us evolve spiritually and overcome our difficulties. Her commitment is to continue serving the divine work and deepen her understanding and keep doing our basic practice of faith. Chelsea is very thankful to the Supreme God, Messiah Meishu-sama, and her ancestors for the permission to follow this path of salvation. So this experience from Chelsea Sharon of Mozambique, Africa. Another one I would like to share with you is from Felicia Teresa Capitito Mushindo. She's from the Lisbon Johrei Center, Portugal. Felicia has been a member for 13 years, and she gives service having committed hours at the Johrei Center in Lisbon. The experience she's sharing with us is related to an unemployment situation. During this period, she received income from an unemployment fund. She applied for other jobs, but always without success. As she had available time, she began dedicating every Wednesday full-time at the church, whereas previously she only gave service for 4 hours. Shortly after making this commitment, she got a job at a public hospital. She started to work, and it didn't take long for the situation of the worldwide pandemic of the new coronavirus to worsen in a frightening way. Quickly, the working environment, which was normal, changed drastically, creating enormous confusion. She tried to keep calm and take the opportunity to put into practice the teachings of God revealed to Meishu-sama in her daily life, and mainly in this hellish work environment. She realized that all the hard work was left for her to do. The situation reached the point of her being seen as slave by her colleagues. Even so, she did not give up and carried out the work with a spirit of dedication, always followed by prayers and donations of gratitude that she made at home, at the end of the day, in front of her consecrated picture of Meishu-sama. It was a very difficult period for Felicia, but she always saw Meishu-sama in charge of everything. 3 weeks later, she received a communication from a multinational company in the production of hospital supplies, to which she had applied, calling her for an interview. The result was that in a short time, she was selected. She started this new job with many advantages, starting with the salary that was almost double compared with the previous job. It is worth remembering that this work came about through an invitation from a colleague of her daughter, who, along with 5 other friends, presented their applications before Felicia, but none of them were selected. When they heard about her joining the company, they were all extremely surprised, without understanding what had happened, as she was practically the last in line. To receive a miracle like this, at a time of crisis in which we live, not only in terms of health, but also financially, is unbelievable. Only Meishu-sama could do that. As an expression of gratitude for this immense permission, in addition to donating 10% of her earnings that she already practices regularly, she made the decision to make a special gratitude donation of 50% of her first salary. She has the commitment to guide others to know this great work and continue with her duty at the Johrei Center, as the schedule of this new work allows it. She learned from this experience that God is really in charge of everything, and that it was thanks to her daily practice of materializing her gratitude that she was able to achieve such results. Felicia is very thankful to God, Meishu-sama, her ancestors, and all those who were involved in this faith experience. Thank you very much for listening to these words and faith experiences. This coming Sunday, it is our annual ancestor service, one of the most important services of the year. We'll be at 11 a.m. If you live locally, hope you can join us personally. If not, please make all efforts to join us virtually through Facebook, through YouTube, and also from our Zoom channel. And Monday is Labor Day. It's a national holiday. These headquarters will be closed, but we will look forward for your continuous presence in our online daily services, which we will then resume on Tuesday. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.